Hello. Combat here, welcome back to another Marvel Snap Decks of the Week. As always, we're just pulling 10 decks from all over the place. These aren't generally the 10 best decks in the game. If you want the best started decks, you'll find them other places. I just find 10 decks that look good, stick them together and put them in a video. Most of these I've played or tried or, I've seen people do really well with. So, I thought I'd share them with you. So, first up we have a low-key mill. It's a bit awkward calling it a mill, but it's like Baron and Cable, so it's kind of mill, but not full mill. It's just kind of a low-key deck. A Loki Mockingbird deck, right? I'd call it. Got a new card Valentina in there, which I'll talk about at the end. I really like her. So that's deck one. Second deck is a Pixie Lady Deathstrike deck. I feel like Pixie's in a pretty good spot right now. She just seems to fit. I don't know what it is. Whenever I use Pixie, it doesn't really work out. I feel like it's just the cards that are in the Pixie decks that are good, right? Like, it's a junk package. Do you know what? That's it. It's literally the junk package, right? The Sentry, the Annihilus, the Hood. It's kind of a good package. And then you've got Lady Deathstrike in here, which is good with a couple of wands. Mobius to stop any really bad. With next month's card, like Blink, Pixie might get a little bit crazy. And I think there was another card coming next month, but I don't know. I'm going to do a review on next month's cards, probably later today or something. I don't know. We'll get out at some point. Anyways, that's enough rambling on that deck. Next deck we have is just a junk deck. Yeah, this is this Clog. I'd rather call it Clog, right, with Debris and White Widow and Goblin. More than junk, even though they're technically the same, right? You're kind of clogging them up. You're locking down a lane with Professor X, and you've got Cannonball to do disgusting Cannonball things, because if they can't move from that location, they turn into a rock. And if you've locked the lane down with Professor X, they ain't going anywhere, right? So, that's nice. Next up, we have an ongoing deck. I thought this was one of the best performing decks, like last week, I believe, which is crazy to me because whenever I play ongoing stuff, it just doesn't work. I don't feel like I just don't get enough power. But this deck was performing quite well recently, which is a bit crazy because I just don't see the power. But I guess it does have a lot of counters to decks that get big, right? You got the Cosmos and the Armor, Jean Grey, stuff like that to stop it. Like, it can beat hella stuff by Jean Grey in a location and putting Cosmo down in that location so you know where it's going. You can Armor destroy, Cosmo destroy. You've got Luke Cage and Man Thing to lower some power. I get it, but still, whenever I play, I just feel like I don't get the power. I don't know if it's just me or not. Next up, we have a proper old school Loki. Well, old school Loki. It's just a general, it's a basic one, right? With Kitty and Angela. Instead of having the mill style package and they're just filling up locations, this is just kind of basic stuff. If you don't have Valentina, you got Kitty and stuff like that. I don't really like Mockingbird in this list because I just feel like if you draw her, you never really play her, right? But if you low-key into her, then you got a chance of playing her, which is nice. Next up, we have the 4 list. Jane got a buff last week, so made it a little bit better. I feel like the 4s were okay already, but I just don't like, myself personally, I don't like the deck because I feel like it's too restrictive. Like, if you've drawn 4 Beta Ray and Jane in the first 5 turns, that is your turn 3, 4, 5, right? You're not really changing up from that because it's kind of your win condition to get the hammered out your deck, so you got to put them in there and you got to Jane them out. It just feels a little restrictive, but I guess this deck's got a little more. You got Miss Marvels, you got Quakes and stuff in here. So it's alright, but I don't know. I like the Lady Deathstrike in there. I feel like it doesn't work for me. Oops, that's the deck I just clicked on. Next up, we have a discard. This is a Helicarrier discard. I did do a discard list myself yesterday. It was a little bit different from this, but I didn't want to put the same one in. I just did like a proper discard. This is like a Helicarrier discard. I kind of like this version with the Helicarrier, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to play. I really wanted to play some Gambit. I'm not gonna lie. So I went with a different version where I was playing like Gambit and Strong Guy instead of Corvus and Helicarrier, pretty much. Yeah, that's you'll have to watch that video if you want to see me play a different discard deck. It worked pretty well. Next up, we have C2. As people know, I'm not a big fan of Cerebro. I wish there was a way for Cerebro to not be affected by positive locations. Like, yeah, but without nerfing it too much, I'd say going off base power would be nice. But then that takes this Blue Marvel out of your decks, which is awkward. But C2 seems to be the most reliable, because you've got kind of Brood in here, which fills up a lot of locations. You get Storm Lanes, you've got the best card in the game in Negasonic, you've got Goose to lock down another lane. So C2 seems to be the way to go. It's just Cerebro, man. Next up, we have a Bounce Hawk list. I don't want to say Junk Hawk list because I'm sick and tired talking about junk. It's kind of like a bounce. So you've got a couple of ones, you've got ways to pick them up. You've got Angela, and you got Hope to cheat out some energy, and then you've got a big Dark Hawk to come down and do some Dark Hawk things. And the last deck is kind of a good card deck. I mean, I can't call it a fully good card deck because I'd have to have Negasonic in my list if I wanted a real good card list. So, myself personally, I'd swap out Magneto or Red Guardian for Negasonic if it was my list. And probably maybe get rid of the key, but I'm not sure. But like, this is a general good card list, right? It's full of just good cards. Like, this is true to the card or good cards, right? You've got Kitty, which is probably one of the best ones. Jeff's the best too. Red Guardian's pretty decent. Hope's amazing. So is Gladiator. Shang-Chi, obviously, most played card in the game or something. I think I've seen yesterday. Has the biggest meta share. Miss Marvel's just fantastic. And then you've got the Black Bolt statue, which is just great. And then Doom and Magneto are probably the two best 6 drops. So that's it for the decks. Quickly, we will talk about the new card, which is Valentina. So she was the new card this week. 2 free, cost 6,000 tokens or spotlight off 1 to 4 spotlight keys, depending on your luck. Honestly, she fits right into a Loki deck. I had kind of fun playing her in a Moon Girl deck. I feel like if you like Loki or Dino type stuff, she's a pretty good pickup. I do think she's a little bit more flexible than that. At the end of the day, she gives you a 4 cost 6 drop, right? Which is good. Because if it's bad, you don't need to play it. If it's good, you get to play it, right? There's plenty of, it's like, I think it's like close to 50-50 on good and bad stuff, right? Even if she gives you Agatha, right? That is still, what? 11 power? I haven't played Agatha in a while. I don't know what her power is. I think she's a 14 base, so it'd be like 11 power Agatha, right? That comes out for 4 cost. Like, there is good cards in her, so she's a lot more flexible than people are giving her credit for right now, which is fine. Anyways, that is enough rambling for me. I hope you enjoyed these decks, and if you've got any other decks that you want to see me play for the new season, let me know, and I will catch you tomorrow for another video. Peace.